Hey everyone, my name's Chris Lessie, and today we're going to talk about aggregate stability. Look at these beautiful aggregates I got here. Straight from the Willamette Valley. Woodburn soil. Alright, get you set up. Alright, what is a soil aggregate? It's clusters of soil particles, sand, silt, and clay, bound together by organic matter, roots, fungal hyphae, and microbial exudates. What's a microbial exudate? That's the goo that comes out of a happy microbe who hasn't been disturbed. A good analogy of a strong aggregate stability would be comparing a bowl of dry oats to a granola bar. What's the difference? Well, one of them has a bunch of glue holding it together, and the other is not very stable. So to promote aggregate stability, you would generally want to reduce the disturbance of the soil. So that would be reducing compaction, reducing tillage, basically just leaving it alone will make the soil better, and always adding organic matter. Aggregates are so important to the way that the soil is able to regulate its air and water movement. Stable aggregates promote resistance to erosion. It creates a habitat for microbes. You have a variety of different sizes within a soil aggregate. You have micropores and macropores, and every little living being is going to be able to find its little niche, its little hidey hole. Carbon sequestration. So this is your recalcitrant organic matter that's able to stay in the soil, and that's where we want it. And for it to be dissolved and broken down at a slower pace by the microbes. And aggregate stability is generally used as a soil health indicator. So this is a proxy for how healthy your soil is. So the best way, in my opinion, to measure aggregate stability is with an app that was put out by the Soil Health Institute. It's called the Slakes app. There's many other ways you can do it. There's all kinds of fancy contraptions you can buy from companies from all over the world. But with this app, this free app, anyone is going to be able to measure aggregate stability. And I think it's a really good tool, and I didn't see a tutorial on YouTube on how to do it. So with no further ado, let's get into it. All right. So first, you're gonna need some air-dried aggregates. You're gonna need about 4 to 10 millimeter size. These are right around 4 millimeters. Next thing you're gonna need are 2 dishes, preferably Petri dishes if you got them. These are 90 millimeter Petri dishes I found. I'm lucky that I have access to multiple labs. I know not everyone can. You could use 2 clear plastic containers as long as they're about the same size. So step number 1 is keep this one dry, no water, and you place your aggregates in here. And the second step is to have an equal size container with water. Let's see if we can show the water level. About halfway, enough that the aggregates will be able to have a nice little bath. All right, so now I want to switch to screen recording, and I got to figure out how to do that. Here we go. Screen record. The first thing you're going to do is create a sample ID. I'll name this one Soil 560, sample number 2. The first one was my first trial run. Alright, so we're going to use that dry Petri dish, and we're going to set up our camera so that the Petri dish is right in the center of the circle right there, using our fancy phone mount. Alright, I'm happy with the placement. Aggregates are in there. Hit the check mark. Now I'm going to use the slider to bring it back so just the aggregates are showing up red with our dry aggregates. All right, We're right about there. All right. The next step is going to be switching from the dry petri dish to the wet petri dish. And we're going to use a tool called a scupula. And I'm going to gently set these aggregates in their nice little bath over here. So here's aggregate number 1 going in the hole. Aggregate number 2 dropped in. Aggregate number 3. All right. Initializing. All right. So 10 minutes from now, the app is going to take a second picture and compare the initial picture, which is what we have right here. All right. And we end up with a score of, drumroll please, 71 out of 1. So we got a 71% aggregate stability. That's quite strong. That's one of the higher numbers you'll ever see on this app. The image on the left shows the initial image and then the final image, and you can see those aggregates have kind of swelled in size a little bit, so they did change.